Stop the foreclosure. That's the goal, right? But can you save your home, or will you have to sell it to avoid losing everything? In this video, I'm going to walk you through the 5 alternatives that you need to know in order to successfully stop the foreclosure on your home. Some of these options will help you actually keep your house, while others might involve selling it. But before we dive in, if you watched my previous videos in this series, you know that we discussed what happened at a foreclosure sale and what happens to your home at a foreclosure auction. If you missed them, don't worry, I'll link it for you down below. But for now, let's get into the alternatives that you have to stop the foreclosure and avoiding it at all costs. Let's get started. When you hear the phrase stop the foreclosure, most people actually think that it means keeping the house no matter what, but that's not always true. What it really means is avoiding the legal process of foreclosure and the auction, of course, and the bank taking back your home and the long-term impact on your credit. Stopping foreclosure is all about taking control of the situation before it spirals out of control and controls you. It could mean negotiating with your lender to keep the house, or it could mean selling it on your own terms instead of letting the bank just take it from you. And here's why this matters so much. If you don't act, you could lose more than just your house. You could be left with nowhere to go, scrambling to find a place to stay, dealing with the emotional toll of uprooting your family and starting over from scratch. Foreclosure isn't just a financial problem, it's a very personal one. So stopping the foreclosure at its tracks, regardless of if you get to keep the house or end up selling it, is about protecting all of that. Now that you understand what stopping the foreclosure really means, let's talk about those 5 alternatives you need to know, okay? Some will help you stay at your home, others might involve selling it, but the key is taking action before it's too late. So let's start with the ones that will help you keep your home. The first option is a loan modification. This is when you work directly with your lender to adjust the terms of your mortgage. They might lower your interest rate, extend the loan terms, or even reduce your principal balance. Wouldn't that be nice, right? Loan modifications are all about making your monthly payments more manageable. For many homeowners, this can be a lifeline after experiencing a temporary hardship, giving you the chance to stay in your home while recovering financially. But here's the thing though, not everyone will qualify for a loan modification. You'll need to prove to your lender that you've had a legitimate hardship, like a job loss, medical expenses, death of a spouse, or a drop in your income. And you also have to prove that you are able to make the new payments going forward. Here's another important detail. If your loan is backed by a government entity like FHA, VA, or Fannie Mae, there are specific modification programs designed to help you. For example, FHA offers its Home Affordable Modification Program, which can lower your payment to 31% of your gross monthly income. Now, if your loan isn't backed by a government agency and it's a conventional loan, don't worry, because private lenders have their own loan modification programs. They may adjust your interest rate, extend your loan terms, or even reduce your payment temporarily to help you avoid the foreclosure. You have to keep in mind though, the conventional loan modifications tend to be more flexible since private lenders don't really follow government program guidelines. However, you still need to provide detailed financial documentation, the bank statements, the tax returns, and the proof of a hardship. The process may also include trial period to confirm that you actually can handle the adjusted payments before they finalize the modification. The important part is whether your loan is government-backed or a conventional loan, you have this option to explore. But you have to be proactive and communicate with your lender as soon as possible, like right now. Don't wait for your lender to reach out to you. You have to be proactive. You have to show them that you're really serious about keeping your home. The second alternative that we'll look at that will help you keep your house is the forbearance. Forbearance allows you to temporarily reduce or pause your mortgage payments while you get back on your feet. This can be an excellent option if you're facing a short-term hardship, like recovering from a medical issue or maybe a natural disaster or a temporary loss of a job. During the forbearance period, your lender agrees not to start the foreclosure process, but please pay close attention to this important part. You'll still have to pay back the missed payments later, very often through a repayment plan or by extending the loan terms. Think of forbearance as hitting the pause button, not canceling the debt. It's there to buy you time to get back on track without the immediate pressure of foreclosure. But you have to remember that you will need to request the forbearance from your lender, and you will need to provide documentation to show why you need forbearance. And it's also critical to understand that the repayment terms up front so you're not caught off guard when it ends. If you're considering forbearance, don't assume it's the same as forgiveness, because it's not. Always ask your lender about the repayment terms before you agree to anything. The third one is that will guarantee that you get to keep your house is a repayment plan. This is where you and your lender agree to a schedule to catch up on missed payments over time. A repayment plan spreads out the entire amount you owe into manageable chunks that are added to your regular monthly mortgage payment. This allows you to catch up gradually instead of just paying a lump sum all at once. What's great about this option is that it's tailored specifically to your financial situation. It's your lender working with you to figure out how much you can afford to pay each month. This can be a lifesaver if you've had a temporary setback but are now back on track with your income. Let me show you an example. Let's say that your regular mortgage payment is $3,500 and you've missed 3 payments totaling $10,500. 3,500 times 3 is $10,500. Instead of requiring you to pay all that at once, the lender could spread it out over 12 months, right? And that's going to be about $875 extra a month, which will make your monthly payment $4,375 amount, because adding to your mortgage payment equals $4,375 a month. But there's a catch. Repayment plans require you to stick to the agreement. So missing even one payment could put you back on the path to foreclosure. So if you're considering this option, make sure you're confident in your ability to meet the terms. It's better to be honest with your lender upfront than to overcommit and risk defaulting again. And before you agree to a repayment plan, double check your finances. Make sure the payments are realistic so you can stick to them and stay on track. Now let's look at the fourth alternative, which is a short sale. This option can help you avoid foreclosure if keeping your home isn't feasible anymore. In a short sale, you sell your house for less than what you owe on the mortgage. The lender agrees to accept the sale price as a payment in full, even if it doesn't cover the remaining balance. A short sale is generally considered when the debt on your home or a combined debt is higher than the property's current market value. However, in many local markets, including ours, most homeowners still have equity in their homes. We'll talk about the scenario in the next section, but it's important to understand that a short sale is typically reserved for situations where the market value of your home won't cover the debt that's owed. Now, even if your home isn't underwater, meaning that the debt isn't more than the property's value, a short sale might still be necessary if the equity isn't enough to cover all of the selling costs. These costs include transfer taxes, recording fees, attorney fees, agent fees, closing costs, and any other expenses that are tied to the transaction. The bottom line is this: a short sale is an option when keeping your house isn't realistic anymore, but it's also a way to avoid the long-term credit damage of a foreclosure. Unlike foreclosure, a short sale shows that you took initiative to resolve the debt, which can make a significant difference when you're ready to move forward financially. If you're considering a short sale at all, it's crucial to work with an experienced real estate professional who's done this before, who can navigate the complexities of the process and negotiate with your lender on your behalf. You also need to provide financial hardship letter, tax documents, and proof of your inability to meet the mortgage payments. A short sale isn't an easy decision, but it's often the smart choice when foreclosure seems like you can't avoid it. Remember, this option can help you walk away with less financial and emotional damage, setting you up for a faster recovery, and you can even buy a home again in the near future. Now let's look at the fifth alternative, which is selling your house traditionally. This is often the best option for homeowners who have equity in their property and want to maximize their financial recovery. Selling traditionally means listing your home on the market with the goal of getting the best possible price. It allows you to avoid the long-term credit damage of foreclosure while also walking away with cash that, first of all, is your money, and secondly, can help you start fresh. Here's how to make it work. First, you'll want to price the home competitively. In today's market, a well-priced home attracts serious buyers really quickly, which is critical if you're under a foreclosure timeline. Next, focus on staging and just minor repairs to maximize appeal. Sometimes just a fresh coat of paint or a little decluttering here and there can make a big difference in how your home is perceived. I know this option can feel disappointing to you, especially if you're emotionally attached to your home. But selling traditionally can be a positive step looking forward. It puts you in control, allows you to dictate the terms, and also ensures that you avoid the forced sale or foreclosure and eviction. And you don't have to do this alone. Partnering with an experienced realtor who understands your timeline and financial goals can make the process smoother and the experience so much more pleasant. They can help you market the property effectively. They will negotiate with buyers, and they will coordinate the sale to align with your needs and timelines. You have to remember that selling traditionally might not be easy emotionally, but it will provide the best financial outcome in the long run. It's about protecting your future and making a choice that benefits you in the future. Here's something else to keep in mind. The longer you wait to sell, the less equity you likely end up with. Market condition, ongoing mortgage costs and fees, and accumulating interest can eat away at your equity over time. And acting quickly can help you preserve more of your hard-earned investment. So if you're considering selling traditionally, you can't wait. The sooner you list, the more control you'll have over the process and over the outcome. But the good news is that you have options. No matter how challenging your situation might feel right now, there's always a path forward that doesn't have to end in foreclosure. Here's what I want you to do next. If you're a homeowner in foreclosure or even just struggling with your payments, don't wait. Reach out to me today. I specialize in helping homeowners just like you navigate these challenges and find the best solutions for your unique situation. Did you know that outside of the foreclosure from your mortgage company, there are also some liens that can force the sale of your house or even trigger a foreclosure? In the next video in this series, I will be covering everything about those liens. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. Watch the other videos in the series if you happen to miss that, and I will be waiting for you on the next video. My name is Esphir Popilevsky. Thank you so much for spending this time with me.